Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, Friday edition, where we talk all things Manchester United. And as always, with Manchester United, there is plenty to discuss. Reports just came out about half an hour ago, maybe 20 minutes ago on Sky Sports saying Erik Ten Hag's future, could be announced next week, people. Could be announced next week. So whilst them reports came out, I've had some thoughts on it as well. So I'm gonna be giving my opinion on what is going on, because I've just been guessing like everybody else and just here literally speculating as into what is going on at Manchester United. Like that's all it's been. It's just pure speculation because we really do not know. But before I continue on with the podcast, make sure you run up the likes first and foremost. People, hit the like button on the video. So important you do that. Hit the like button on the video, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back. Please make sure you share this across all the socials as well. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. It is rolled to 12K on the channel. And of course, if you want to make sure your question gets read out, super chat. But just please keep all your questions Manchester United related, and we'll get to the best ones. Joined by some of the gang in the building. You know what I'm saying? This guy fast becoming a superstar, actually. Fast becoming a big superstar. I see him on This Is Football with Hassam. You know what I'm saying? He on Saeed TV with Saeed. I'm like, oh, geez, you know what I'm saying? Like, now the response is a little bit longer, but my bro, love to see him shining, and his own channel's growing as well. My like Sheik is in the building. Yes, Sheik, what are you telling me? You good?
Big up, man. Appreciate that. I've said it before. If it wasn't for people like you, I wouldn't be on those channels shining, man. So I definitely appreciate that a lot. It means a lot for real. But big up to everyone, man. United, Sky Sports said breaking news. What's breaking about that, man? Like, there's nothing breaking.
Look at Sheik's not having
Like,
yo.
yeah, man,
I can tell you're fed up, man. Just your facial expressions.
Like, bro, I am. I'm sick and tired. Like, just sack this guy, man. You already know too. I made a little clip yesterday, and I spent like hours on it. And I was just hoping that today might be the day. Like, today might be the day where I drop it, and it's not, I guess. So, it is what it is. Next week, coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? But we'll see. Next week,
yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and it's only right, people. You know, we bring the best content creators here as well. And to me, this guy I'm about to introduce, I was saying, easily just one of the most underrated content creators, period. Easily underrated. And I think in all aspects, underrated for his knowledge on the actual game itself, and also how funny he is. Because he has me cracking up. You know what I'm saying? Whether I agree or disagree with him, man has me cracking up regardless. The delivery is always spot on. And man will literally double down on whatever he's, and I respect that. Man lets you know about his biases from the jump. Gotta welcome my Don Eddie in the building. Yes, family, what are you saying? You good?
Oh, I'm good, man. I thought you was talking about the Pope for a second. My dog gonna introduce me like that. Yeah. Shout out to all y'all. My dog Sheik doing big things like he's supposed to. Follow big things as well. So it's love, people. Shout out to chat always. You already know we cool, man.
Yeah, man, you already know. I just thought it's only right, man, to give people their flowers. And obviously, we work together on a weekly basis, but I'm still like, you know what? As bad as Manchester United have been, you two, obviously, you're on watch-alongs with me as well. I've made this somewhat bearable this entire season. Like, I made watch-alongs. Like, if I was just here by myself, I'd be so much worse. And at least I know I'm not going crazy.
No, you got to a point where we was like fortune tellers who just tell the whole game before it even happened.
Facts,
yeah,
it goes on its way.
Talk about the game while the game is going on. Like, we just, go off the different topics. So, yeah.
Exactly that. I'd be like, yeah, goals on its way and things of that nature. But like Sheik mentioned it already in regards, and he'll be back. Don't worry about that. He's just sorting out his connection. Big up to Warrior J in the chat. And this is what I was talking about earlier on. Well, just at the start of the show, sorry. Manchester United's postseason review is understood to be in the final stages, and a decision on Erik Ten Hag's future could be announced in the next week. And I tweeted about it as soon as I seen it. And the two words that I took from this that I think most people are going to overlook is could be announced. Could be. So it's not a definite. So could be. So we could legit be going into the Euros not knowing. And that to me is unacceptable. And I've been thinking about like what's going on. And I've actually come to the conclusion, I think there is some people who want to sack Ten Hag, and I believe there's some people in the hierarchy who want to keep him. And that's where the clash is coming. Now, who those people are, that is the problem. It could, they might not even be in, because people will automatically think Ineos versus the Glazers. Like Ineos want to get rid of him, Glazers want to keep him, which could be the case. However, within Ineos itself, there could be, say it's a panel of 4. 2 people might be like, right, I want to keep him, and 2 people might want to get rid of him. Because we've seen that with Chelsea, I believe, with Poch. I think a couple of their board members, if there's a Chelsea fan in the chat, they'll be able to let me know. I believe a couple of the couple of the people on the board wanted to keep him, but then the rest wanted to get rid of him, and then that's where the delay came. So that's what it is. Because even this, that's why I'm not even getting gassed about this. Sheik hit the nail on the head. There's nothing breaking about this. Could be announced. So we could be here this time next week, gearing up for the Euros, the first game, gearing up for Germany versus Scotland, and we are no more in the know. We don't know. But I think there's a clash upstairs. But now the biggest problem I have with that is between who? Is it Ineos versus the Glazers, or is it within Ineos? If I'm taking an educated guess, I think the Glazers want to keep him. And the reason why I think the Glazers want to keep him is because the fans like him. That's where it stems from. Because the whole writing a letter, the whole backing Ten Hag and all this rubbish, I think that's where it stems from. Because yes, Van Gaal, they sacked after winning the FA Cup and had a better season, but there wasn't this backing for Van Gaal. There wasn't this backing for Mourinho. Even Oli, it got to a point, like he had a lot of backing, but it got to a point where everyone was pretty much begrudgingly accepting. Even the most strongest Oli-inners. So that's what I personally think it is. That's just me. But we'll go to you, Sheik. Thoughts on it?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, that's my pretty much like all we can really do right now is just, pure speculation, guess, all that type of stuff. But I kind of agree with you. I feel like there's definitely some sort of clash of heads, because if there wasn't, the decision would have been made already. The fact that this review has been taking almost 2 weeks now, it's just clear that, someone doesn't think that sacking Ten Hag is the right decision. And I honestly think it's the Glazers. Why? Because we've seen it in the past too. Do these guys actually care about, doing their homework and actually putting effort into trying to find the right appointment? No, they'll just go with whatever fans think is okay, PR, this and that. So it's an easy job for them, Now that we actually have a structure that are actually trying to identify who the right manager could be, the Glazers are just kind of like, you know what? We're not used to this. We just kind of go with whatever the fans say. So we're just going to listen to them. So that's my whole thing. And I'm sticking by the same thing. And I've said this before too. If we don't get a manager by the Euros, I'm convinced it's Southgate. There's no other reason for us to believe that it's not Southgate. So Ten Hag will leave.
That being said, let's say it gets to the Euros and it's still unannounced, you know what that leaves me? I lean more towards him staying.
Or that.
It's just me. I hear you though.
To sum it up, if it goes up to the Euros, it's bad. It's a bad problem either way, right? And we have 2 problems at this moment. One is just getting rid of this guy. We don't even know if this guy's going to get rid, right? 2, who is going to even come in after that? So we have like 2 big problems. And right now, like I said, there's nothing breaking about this news. Like literally, you guys have seen 8 Mile, the last rap battle that he has. He literally tells him everything. He's like, all right, go ahead. Tell me something that, people didn't already know. That's me right now to Sky Sports. Tell me something I didn't already know. It's the same. You guys say the same thing. Yeah, I've had enough, man. I'm tired of this real, but yeah, I'm like, the guy needs to go. It's about time. But you know what? Like, this is just Manchester United, and how our club has been in the past couple of years. And can't forget the Glazers are still here. So are we really surprised by how long this is taking? Just look at how long the 25% stakeholding thing took. That took so long for that to happen as well. So it's a mix from, you could say, oh, well, the Ineos like to move, like under the radar. They like to do things swiftly, this and that. They don't like, they don't have leaks and stuff like that. Cool. But it's like, doesn't really need to take this long to have a review, man. I get a week. A week is cool, but 2 weeks pushing to 2 weeks just makes no sense. And
it could be more, because they said it could be announced. It wasn't definitely. I think people are really overlooking. That's the first thing. It could be. I bet. Yeah. Go on, carry on.
Exactly. And they're obviously, clickbaiting the shit out of this, because Muppeteers dropped something yesterday and we discussed it on Saeed's channel. And then if you click on the thing and go through the thread, he actually says, oh, well, I'm not he basically said, I'm not really sure. Like, I just think that this is what it is. So everyone's like, I don't think anyone has a clue, really, like journalists especially. I don't think anyone really has a clue on what's going on, but that itself is the problem. We just really don't know what's going on. Some sort of communication would be nice, but it's cool, man. We move. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
Eddie, what's your thoughts on this groundbreaking news that it
You
could
know
be
what I'm
announced next
saying?
week?
So shocked. I'm so shocked.
Because it's like they can't help themselves, bruh. They don't know what they talking about when it comes to football. And now they don't know what's happening when it comes to football business. So at least they're consistent in that respect, but they just couldn't help themselves but open their mouth about some stuff they don't know nothing about. And that's why for me, bro, I'm be honest with you. Like, Sheik has every right to be fed up. I see it's crazy. I'm not like staunchly on one side or the other. I'm just like, yo, this is their show and prove moment. Because if they take this long and they make the right decisions, like they bring in the right manager, they do all this, then okay, they had a plan, right?
Yeah, true.
If they don't, then it makes it look like, well, they were just scrambling and fell upon this answer. Like either way, you can cut it either way. So for me, I'm just kind of analyzing the decisions because this is the first time we've had anything like this at our football club. Like, not just like in the sense that it's been so dysfunctional for a mighty long time, and you realize how much of it was Sir Alex and like his inner circle pretty much running the show.
Facts.
Like once we got out, like we still had his people up in there, and then we had the Glazers people up in there. Now we have a group who's actually, I mean, I don't know how much they win in other sports. You can tell they're committed to sport. So I just have to think they have a plan, and I'm just going to judge the result. I'm really just going to judge the result because this is the first big decision they'll have to make.
Sure.
And then we all know it's a chain reaction. After this decision, you can do something else, and that something can become way more worse than it actually is. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at. Like, I get it though, because you know, Manchester United is always in the news. And because we had a team full of chatty patties, we always knew what the fuck was going on in the training pitch,
exactly,
in the canteen. We got social media beef. We was the one. Jaden and Ten Hag was the biggest beef until Kendrick and Drake came along.
Yeah,
that was the biggest beef.
And it's still ongoing. You know what I'm saying? But it's the fans carrying it on. Like the fans, like whether you're Team Jaden or you're Team ERIK, they've carried it on. It's still a conversation.
It's so crazy. Hey man, I'm gonna be real. A lot of these people would be great hall monitors. The way they just taking the teacher's word for it. Oh, Jaden, you should have apologized. You don't talk that way to the school teacher. You don't talk that way to the custodian. You don't talk that way. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. He's a grown ass man. Bro makes more than the manager, dog. Probably get in there. They see me in curse. Real chatty patties, dog.
Yeah.
The mean girls of what's it, Carrington? We'll call them that. The mean girls of Carrington. The real housewives of Carrington. We was giving different drama names all the time. This is just what it was, bro. So it's kind of, we're moving different. But again, even if we move different, if we still get the same shitty results, well, then we're gonna be pissed off more about that than the fact that it took a bunch of time for them. Well, it'll add to it, but I think the biggest point will be that you guys took all that time and you came to this decision.
Yeah, you gotta get the decision right. Yeah, you gotta get the decision right.
That's what I'm just kind of scared of, is that you take this long to make just a stupid decision. Like, what's the point of taking so long to make a stupid decision if you're just gonna make it in the first place, man? But I hear Eddie, because I agree with him too. You know what it is for me is that I'm just really impatient. Like, as a United fan right now, from the season that I've seen, I'm just really, really impatient. I want change immediately. With that being said, though, I don't necessarily want them to rush to a decision just to make a decision. Like, I want them to obviously, sit down, think about all that stuff. So part of me is kind of like, sack him today, but also part of me is kind of like, if I'm cool with, if you're taking time, as long as you get the decision right, I'm okay with it. Like, at the end, if it means Ten Hag will get sacked and it takes 2 weeks to 3 weeks, cool. Like,
Sheik, not to cut you off, right? Like, my thing is, if they're gonna make the Ten Hag decision, they're gonna do it like carefully, until a T, where there's not a lot of mess around what's going on here between himself and the club, right? So it's like, again, I think he still has he's still contractually obligated to be here next season. So it's like maybe they're working on not having to pay him so much damn money to leave. Maybe that's why they're talking about, we're gonna type it up as like we're gonna decide to part ways rather than you're getting sacked. Yeah, it's just a whole lot that they could be doing.
Yeah.
To where it's like I can see why it's taking time, but I can also see why it isn't, because he's such like, how I feel about the dude. He's a dickhead. Like you lost. Get out of here.
Fact.
So if it happened like right after the FA Cup, that would have been good enough for me. But now that it hasn't, I'm just in like wait and see mode as to what they do.
Yeah. And big up to everyone in the chat. Before we carry on, continue to run up the likes. Just under 50 people in here. Please share across all socials. Go to Twitter, X, retweet a like from Sarcasm City TV. Make sure you share from the Instagram and subscribe to the channel. But make sure you run up the likes. There's only 20 likes and there's just under 50 people in here. Let's get up to 40 likes. Like check 1212. And yeah, Mike's also alluding to what Eddie mentioned when he says, I'm liking the lack of leaks. These guys sort out what they need to and announce when they are ready. And I'm with that, Mike, to an extent in regards to love the lack of leaks and everybody is guessing. That's what I do like. We signed a chief communications officer. Nobody knew about it. We signed a physio from Arsenal. Nobody knew about it. We got a technical director. Nobody knew about it. We approached Dan Ashworth. Nobody knew about it until we actually approached and everything happened. Omar Barada. No one seen any of these things coming. So I'm all for that. Where it is, Sheik mentioned it in regards to time to get to make the right decision. To me, why I'm impatient with that, you've had enough time. You've been here since February. I don't know how much more, I keep saying this, how much more evidence you need to sack this manager. What is there to discuss? When you sit down at that, and that's what leads me to believe there's a mix of opinions at the top. Some people want to sack him, some people want him to stay. And that's what I think it is. And yeah, Robert, to an extent, all we know is we don't know anything. And that's why it's just sheer guesswork and speculation. Like I said, big up to Jez in the cut as well. Gaming, don't worry about it, man. It's all good.
It's
John
like
said, yeah, go on, fam.
The thing is, like, again, I understand that it shouldn't take this long to work out a contract and stuff like that, but we don't know what Ten Hag was guaranteed in that deal and what the ramifications are if United just somehow, some way fires him. Especially, again, he won 2 trophies. Maybe there are certain incentives. There's just so much with the situation. And again, they weren't there for the paperwork. Ineos wasn't there for the Ten Hag paperwork. So who knows what kind of mess they created. And again, I just think from him having absolute control and Ineos coming through with a totally different setup and foundation, you couple in the 8th place finish, like everything points to him getting sacked. So again, because that's where I personally believe it's headed, I believe it's already been done. I'm just more worried about who the appointment is. Like that's gonna be everything that encompasses my conversation about Ineos, because again, we don't even know what, like, they say Radcliffe says he wants a certain kind of player, like Iniesta, like shows and all that, and it's like, okay, well, that's not out there in the pitch. The only one close to even maybe a couple years down the line that conversation could be Kobe. We don't know yet. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much, but that's where I'm at. That's because all those things kind of factor into my decision with how I'm treating Ineos right now.
Yeah,
and that's fair. That's fair. No, I hear that. And to Mike, who says, I believe they've already done the business. It's just a public announcement that hasn't been made. Maybe that is the case, Mike. I hope that is the case. And like I said, if they get the decision right, I'll be like, all right, you lot taking the time made sense. I was impatient because you lot actually got to the correct decision in at least a somewhat of a timely manner. It's just that I don't like what I'm hearing, but we will see. And to Jardel, who asked this, yo, Flawless, you think the delay is indecision means he's staying, or they're looking for a manager to announce as soon as he starts? Maybe in regards to managing a manager, to announce a manager once he's been sacked, but that should have been decided anyway. To me, that should March, April, you should have, all right, this is the style, who's the managers? What are you saying? No, it's not strike 2 for me yet, no. Well, it's closing. It's definitely closing. If he's still here come the start of the Euros, which is literally next week, that is strike 2. There's no reason for it to be him to be here.
What day is it? Next week? That's
Yeah, it's next week, Friday. For literally 7 days.
Friday is really that day too. Okay, because everyone's saying like online that it would either really be a Friday or a Monday. I also heard that I guess Ten Hag's on a holiday, and he comes back on Monday and Tuesday. And I feel like if professionally and business wise, when he would come back is when they would probably break the news to him, if they were to break the news to him. So. That and again, like this guy just recently said, journos really don't know what's happening. So this is like I'm saying, this is all purely just speculation. This is all things that we would want to see, we would like to see. Ideally, in a world, it would be right that they sack Ten Hag and then announce a new manager right away, because ideally they would have all those decisions made already. But that's the thing, is just that we don't know, man. We really just don't know. Other thing I do want to say, last thing, is that we are also links for players have been really, really heavy recently, at least. And that's another thing that makes me kind of think, because I've seen in the past where, even without a manager, obviously, you'd want to go and scout players and stuff like that. But another thing is that if you are looking to scout players and you're looking, and it looks like we're also going like heavily in the French market, because a lot of the players that we're linked with are from League One. So if these are all these things that you've already identified, surely you have some sort of manager that's lined up in terms of like the style that you want to play, the players that you're looking to get, the profiles, all that stuff. But then again, this is just me. I could be waffling. This is purely just speculation. So that's really just what it is.
And that's it. It is speculation, but we're letting it known we are merely speculating. And to Dags, who asked a couple questions, says, Flawless, if Ten Hag stays, and I get if it's a big if he does stay, but if so, if we get this summer on point, and you also asked if he stays and he gets us playing that saucy Ajax football and gets us top 4 wins as Europa, another FA Cup, will change your mind on him? No, because this is the reason why, is because I like consistency. So let's say hypothetically this happens, he stays, we have a good window, we then completely change our football, completely get better performances, the team looks much different, we win another trophy and get top 4. What goes to say that season is not a one-off and we go back to this season? I like consistency from my football club. I like consistency from the manager. I like consistency from the players. Consistency is a key in life, people, to success. There's no sustained success in anything, in particular, the highest level of sport, without consistency. Consistency is key in all aspects. Whoever your favorite content creators are, to everybody watching, guarantee they're all consistent. Because they're live every day or every other day, whoever they are. Like, consistency is key. Same way your favorite artist, your favorite rap artist, I bet his singles and his albums and his mixtapes are all of a certain quality whenever he drops. Consistency is key. So no, it wouldn't. And my biggest issue again with Ten Hag is nothing to do, because people mention this all the time in regards to, with a better system. No, sorry, with a better structure or with better players. My major issues from him this season are nothing to do with the structure or the players. How he utilized what he had is my problem. I understand it's like being a cook and you're not in the best kitchen. You're not in the best kitchen. You don't have the best ingredients. I'm not expecting a 5-star, 6-star meal. No. But what he was serving up was some microwave, not even microwave stuff. It was cold.
But the thing is, he's been in the kitchen already, and he has served a decent dish.
He already in the same kitchen
with those same ingredients. He has already served a decent dish. So it's like, you know the recipe. You kind of
what we did, Sheik, after that is got him ingredients he asked for.
Yeah, and then he said, "I want better ingredients in terms of him." And look, it's worse. It's worse. Like,
so that's why I know. Like, if there was a complete turnaround from him, no. Because then I'd be like, all right, what's 25, 26 going to look like?
He probably at Old Trafford cooking that raw chicken, for real. If we're being serious, he's probably in that kitchen cooking that raw chicken, man. For real, man.
You know what you can put this conversation with?
Yeah, go on.
What if Luke Shaw stays healthy the whole season?
It's a big what if. It's very, very Marvel.
People. It's like we cannot escape reality. The players, the play style, all his. He wasn't restricted from playing that kind of football this season. He chose to play the kind of football we play this season. With who we brought in and how we set us up, we were 8th in the Premier League, the worst finish we've had during that era. So we can't assume that he's going to then transition to some type of ball possession, I don't know, just, triangles all over the pitch when he didn't even want the players who can do that for him. Only ones who can do that type of play, that Ajax kind of brand, that, the De Jong, Donny, Cyrus, all those dudes who have been playing since I feel like they've been playing together for a mighty long time since before that. We can't assume that he can replicate that because he's given us no sign that he actually can outside of that situation. Yeah. And then Ahmad can do that. You don't play him. Sancho can do that. You don't really like him either. Martial can do that. You fell out with him. I think Delo can do it. But again, you said we don't need a Reguilon. I can rely on Luke Shaw. So you have a shortage at left back, and then Delo becomes your best left back. And you're stuck with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like, it's just too much showing me in reality that brand of football wasn't really him. It was what they demanded of him, but given the opportunity to make it in his image, it's going to look like what we saw on the pitch.
You've seen what he served up over the past 2 seasons. Yeah, that's right. It seems it was more the Ajax way than the Ten Hag way. Because they demand they demand a certain style of football, and that ties into what I'm talking about with a new manager. When you go into Ajax, you must play a certain way. Now, is there managers who will go away from that? Yeah, like people forget, because people always talk about Ten Hag's first team, the one with De Jong and the one with De Ligt, etc., and Donny van der Beek. Go look at his second team. It kind of looks like Manchester United's team. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember some of the names of like Gravenberch. Who else was there? The chat won't let me know. I'm going to do my Googles in a second. But his second Ajax team were 11. Gravenberch was in it. Who else was in it? There was a couple others, and they weren't really technical. It was more industrious. It was more runners.
He used to play for Southampton. Dusan Tadic. I think he played. Onana was there, right? Or did he move to Inter at that time?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Like there was that team. I can't remember who else was in that midfield. Hey, chat, let me know, please, people. Let me know. Well, because I can't remember off the top of them. But that second team was much more similar to this Manchester United team. Big up to Joe Sell as well, and to Robert, who says United actually don't need Ten Hag. Wilcox can set up tactics trainings anyway. I hear what you are saying, and big up to John Santos, who says, is Dan Ashworth a rival holding back the decision on Ten Hag? No, I don't think it is, and it shouldn't, because Dan Ashworth.
Now, because it's also Barada too.
Talk about it.
No, you go. I was just adding that in. You got it.
Oh, see, yeah. So yeah, because Barada's on his way. I think he starts July the 13th, and then you've got Dan Ashworth. But they're all working for Manchester United without officially working for Manchester United. Like, they're all in conversation. That's why Newcastle have put Dan Ashworth on gardening leave, because they don't want him to have access to anything, because they know that he's going to be, even though he's technically not a Manchester United employee, he's a Manchester United employee. That's what it is. But so it shouldn't. It should have no bearing, because Dan Ashworth and Barada and everybody else and Wilcox can all sit down or all get on a Zoom call or get on a StreamYard and all right, let's discuss who's the manager we want. What's going on? There's a power struggle going on, I think, at the top, because everything else has been done swiftly with no complaints. All the people we brought in and all the people we've got rid of. But now when it comes to the manager, it's a problem. And for people talking, no, it's not Southgate. Let me just clarify that. And there's no reliable source that has said it's Gareth Southgate. Not a one reliable source has said that. Not one reliable journalist has said that. People have just ran with that because it's easy and because it's funny from a rival perspective. Gareth Southgate, English manager, United need a manager linked the two. Obvious, and they know it's going to get clicks and it's going to spark conversation. But yeah, we'll see.
Squad, by the way, his squad. So just some players. Yeah, Timber. He had Stecklenburg in goal. He had the likes of Edson Alvarez, Klassen.
Wait, before you carry on, yeah, Alvarez was the DM, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Carry on.
That should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, Mazraoui. He has Mazraoui, went to Bayern. Obviously, Anthony, who's at United. Ryan Gravenberch. He had Danilo, Brazilian forward. Dusan Tadic. Daley Blind. Just a bunch of other Dutch players as well. Jay Gorder. Yeah, just like not really notable. Like Sebastian Haller was one.
See the players we're talking about.
Kudos.
Kaneki mentioned it here. Look at the switch. Ajax midfield was the young Danny van der Beek. I'm not sure who the third guy is. And then it became Blind, Gravenberch, and Alvarez. Look at the difference. Yeah, Blind's technical, but Gravenberch and Alvarez, Eddie said it. You know what you're getting. You know what that is. That's the complete opposite. Blind, Gravenberch, and Alvarez kind of looks much more like he's not too far away from a Casemiro Mount Bruno. That's what he wanted.
You know who broke that down now that I remember it?
Go on.
Jez broke that down a couple. I think the beginning stages of Ten Hag. I think that was one of his things that he kind of let us on to was that after them dudes left, he played a totally different brand of football that was more closer to what United looks like right now.
Yeah. The names I mentioned. So take out Blind because he's technical. Take out Kudos, but Gravenberch, Alvarez, Mazraoui. Who was the other player you mentioned who played for Everton? The attacking player. Name the names again. Run through the list again.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So I'll start from goal, and I'll basically Stecklenburg, Timber, Edson Alvarez, Klassen, Ryan Gravenberch, Danilo, Dusan Tadic, Anthony, Mazraoui, Daley Blind, Kudos, Brian Brobby, Lisandro Martinez, Sebastian Haller, Andre Onana, Mohamed Darami, Nicholas Tagliafico, Remco Pasveer, some of the other players I honestly don't even know. But those are like the notable ones. Yeah.
See, so as we're saying, and Jez has mentioned this and others, so you see the difference. Send me that list as well, please.
It's on Wiki, but I'll send it to you. I was just checking on Wiki. Also, in the league, he obviously he won the Eredivisie and 34 matches played. He scored 98 goals with a plus 79 goal difference. That's a
chase.
Yeah.
They blitzed the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Blitzed the league. Damn.
Absolutely blitzed the league. I mean, they only won by 2 points, but yeah, they blitzed the league. In terms of goals scored, they only conceded 19 goals the whole season. Only 19. Yeah. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it's time and all this. Yeah, could be announced next week. All I'm gonna say is, people, don't be surprised or shocked if nothing gets announced next week. And then next week it could be announced next week. But I really don't want the Euros to start and we're still just in the unknown. Just announce it. If you've made a decision, just announce it. Get the new manager in, because I keep saying this time is against us. We have so much work to do. We got so much work to do
100%.
in regards to the team. Not only incomings, outgoing, so important. And even players are unsure. That's why you got Bruno's agent out here, like talking to other clubs, talking about I don't know what's going on. Everyone's really just in the unknown. Blessed for that Sheik. So yeah, we'll see what going. You know what I'm saying? Bless Kaneki as well, man. Just seeing that as well. I checked that out. But you lot continue to get your questions in as well. And speaking of that, Fabrizio Romano always posted up a couple days ago. Well, tweeted, a couple days ago. 2 things. One, Manchester United are looking for a left back. And we have interest in the Bournemouth left back, but I can't pronounce his name, which I'm over the moon about in regards to not the Bournemouth left back, even though Jez and Strasbourg Steve spoke highly of him. That's like the fact we are looking at a left back, because that is a problem area and has been a problem area. And if we can go sign a senior left back and have Malacia back up that left back, I'm all for that. No more Luke Shaw. I am all for that. So if he gets injured, all right, cool. We really need to be moving on, and I'm over the moon with that. Sheik, what are you saying in regards to the new left back? Well, not a new, but Manchester United looking at a left back, sorry. And also, is there any left backs that stand out to you that you would like?
The whole Kirkes, I'm not a fan of Kirkes, to be honest, like
Is
that.
that his name? Kirkes, yeah? Is that his
I
name?
if I pronounce it wrong, I apologize. But yeah, him, I'm not honestly like I have to see more of him to be fair. Like I'll say this, I haven't really watched a lot of him, but from what I've seen, glimpses, I'm not a huge fan. I feel like there's a lot of other better players out there that we could get, but I am happy with the fact that we are looking for left backs. I am also happy with the fact that a lot of the players that we are linked with, I like most of them. Like a lot of the profiles that we are linked with, I really, really rate them. Tadibo, 25 million from Nice itself. There's Lenny Euro that we're also linked to. Couple of League One players that I really like, and we've seen the talent out of League One recently in recent years, right? Camavinga, Tukameni. There's a lot of talent coming out of the French league. So I like that. I like that they're going into the French league. It kind of makes sense though because he does own Nice, so he will look to try to scout players from France, which makes sense. But yes, John Santos actually said I was going to get to that. Kefren Turam. That's probably a player that I would be looking to get, to be honest.
Oh, because he's a Kefren Turam. He was linked with. Was he not linked with? It was Liverpool last summer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
last summer.
because he plays for Nice. Yeah, he plays
He's
for
not
Nice.
really he's not a left back, but he's
he's
more
a deep
builder. But like,
he's a DM.
some players like this are one profiles that I'm liking.
Okay.
Like that's good. That's good that we're going for some profiles like this. But left back, to be honest, I can't really think of one name to in mind at the moment. Nuri is a good shout, but I don't think we could. I don't know if we would get him, to be honest. But I'd have to probably do more research on left backs. But I'm here to see, like, I want to see more links with left backs, and then kind of do my research on those players. But I like the fact that we are looking for these positions because the left back is 100% needed. Malacio is out for all season. Luke Shaw was out for all season. We let go of players. We sent them on loan, stuff like that, and we had a problem when it comes to when it comes to the left back situation. So it's good. It's good that we're looking for left backs for sure. I'm happy about that.
First, anyway, I already know that you're over the moon about Manchester United looking for a left back in general. But is there any left backs in general that you look at and go, yeah, go and get him?
Yeah, anyone not named Luke Shaw. It's that simple. It's that simple. People, I will bask in the day their golden savior is gone. The amount of capping I see done for Luke Shaw when he's gone, it will be a blessed day, people. I spoke about the Pope earlier. I will go to the Vatican myself and ask him to canonize such a day. For a believer like me. At least do it for me. I'm telling you, nothing will hit better. Nothing. Well, let me rephrase that because there's a couple things, but it's up there.
Yeah.
It's
we know
up
what
there.
You mean. Yeah. It's high on the list.
Up
it's
there.
not top of the list, but it's high on the list.
It's high on the list, man. It's on the top 5 of the power rankings. That day will be there. We need this to happen, and then with the Thuram link and the Tadibo link, hey man, that lets me know something. They know what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Those two dudes left back, athletes.
Left back and center back. The two.
He's a defensive midfielder. I don't know. I seen.
Oh, you talking about Thuram? Yeah, Thuram's a DM.
Yeah, Thuram. Tadibo's solid. He's solid. Like he's not Varane, but he's in that mold where he definitely is the type of player you want next to a Martinez. Thuram is. He's a decent ball carrier. Passing is okay, but he is tight. Like he is safe with the ball, I'd say. But he's really just an athlete out there, in my opinion. But that's what I've been screaming for in the midfield. Like, especially if you're looking to get rid of Casemiro.
He said he's a box to box, not creative. He's a box to box. All right, he's an 8. Yeah. So he's okay.
8.
First. He's
an 8. Okay, you probably got. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you saying.
That's what Just is saying. Just said it in the chat.
Yeah.
But that's just
I didn't see him be too creative when I was watching him play. Like I just thought, but he does it's not a McTominay situation. He does make use of himself while he's in those conditions. So
yeah,
both those two players I'd be happy with. Absolutely. They'll be a good addition. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm just looking at him. Trying to make Jez really know what he'd be talking about. He actually comes in use. Yeah, it's saying central midfield is his main.
Central
Central midfield is his main position, and they're saying DM also left midfield as well. I'm trying to find out how many games he actually played like there, but yeah, that's what it's saying on transfer market. Anyway, big up to Staffy as well.
27 appearances and 23, 24 in League One.
Yeah. So, like, I'm all for it. Like Eddie hit the nail on the head. Athleticism, because also Jez mentioned about Tedibo. I think it was Jez who mentioned it, or it might have been Steve or both of them was talking about like him from a disciplinary standpoint and saying like he's aggressive. And I was like, we need that. Like, we need some aggression in this team. We really lack that. We really lack someone who's gonna put someone into row A or row B or row C. Like, I want someone to kick someone in the Stretford end. Like, literally, like, I love like fairly, but yes, you want that. So I'm with it. Robert X is gonna start saying technical Fred would be perfect.
23 years old, around 35 million market value. Him and Tedibo would probably cost 60 million together. That's do the business, man. Like, for real.
Both Nice.
Right there, the both Nice, yeah, and
they're both of Nice.
Kefren Turam 6'4", and then I think.
Wait, shit, is he 6'4"?
Yeah.
Nah, hey, bro.
Yes, bro.
He an athlete. Like,
athlete.
Yeah,
athlete, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. He should be hooping. He really should be hooping. He should be playing.
Could be a power forward.
No. I'll give him a couple weeks. He can catch Pat Bev. It ain't hard, but he can catch Pat Bev. I'll give him a couple weeks.
Hey, you know what? I'm with that. I did not realize. I didn't check the height that he's actually 6'4". That's crazy.
What I'm saying, man. 60 million. Come on, we can sit here and say that's good business. We can sit here and say that's good business, but yeah,
you did, Kaneki. You did speak about these, on the Twitch last year. Yeah, I remember Kaneki. You did. I remember he was linked heavily to Liverpool all summer long. Because I remember when I was doing the ManDem United's analysis at Anfield, making the thumbnails and discussing. And
even then, I was kind of hoping they wouldn't get him. I was really hoping that they wouldn't get him. I'm glad that
it seems like he's a clock midfielder, to be honest.
Yeah. Up and coming for sure. I think definitely him. I think him and Mano together would cook. I think they complement each other very well. They would complement each other very, very well in that midfield.
Yeah, I'm saying he played 22 games as a central midfielder and 3 as a defensive midfielder. So they're saying, just really know we ought to be talking about, You just hang out here just trolling, looking for
milk. Is 42. Yeah, his value is kind of like around 30 to 35, but his
buyout clause is 42 million euros.
Come on, like this is what I'm saying, man.
That's like 35 M's, and this is your guy.
Yes,
and we kind of need that. Like, people, I'm just going off profile here. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? To PS who says, fam, are we soon building back Blackchester United? Our dopest vibes post Fergie was Pogba, Lukaku, Rashford, Martial, and Lingard. We need those vibes back. I hate you, PS. I'm not gonna lie. I just need some athleticism. I feel like Nelly talking to Adam Sandler in Longest Yard. As everyone's seen the scene when he was like, yo, we need some speed. We need some niggas. And then he was like, yeah, we got one. And he was like, we got such and such. He's like, that's one. Like, we do. Just bring me. I don't care what color the player is. Hey, run me some. I've said this for the longest. We lack so much athleticism. We lack so, especially in such a not only in 2024 where it's an athlete's game, but in one of the most physically demanding leagues. It's probably between the Premier League and League One when it comes to physicality. And you see how we just get ran off the ball all the time, Eddie. And Sheik, you'll see it too. All the time, we just get ran off the ball a lot of the time.
Yeah,
there's just no physicality anywhere, in particular in central midfield. But when you look at the best teams, they have that there. And you should have athletes throughout the team. Of course, technical ability matters, but mix it both. And man is saying in the chat that he's actually technically good. And I say he's 6'4". I'm with it. And to John asking about Alfie Dalton, left back from Luton, I think he's more of a wing back. But when I watched Luton, he played well. He impressed me. He impressed me. Very good delivery, very good engine. But I don't look at him as a left back. But I could be wrong. To me, he seemed like he's more in the wing back mode. Even though, did he play? Let me actually double check. I can check now and have a look and see. But you lot continue to run up the likes as well. But in regards to fullbacks, I've said this, I'd go get Robinson from Fulham. I'm a fan. I like Robinson a lot. All right, I like him a lot. You don't have to worry about him settling into the Premier League. Has a good engine. Has a good delivery, etc. Yeah, I knew I was talking about. He played as a wing back. But yeah, Robinson, good delivery, technically very good. Good outlet going forward as well. Defensively decent. I think he can get better also. I'm not sure of his age, but again, adds athleticism, much needed athleticism down that side. Someone who can go corner flag to corner flag for 90 minutes. That's what you're looking for.
No, 100%.
You're hilarious, PS. And I don't know anything about him. I don't know if you man ever do. You mentioned him actually. What's his name? Desiree Due.
Desiree, yeah, I seen like
Yeah.
so yesterday was where I think Twitter just there was a clip that someone dropped, and I think that's what just was being circled around Twitter, and a lot of people were talking about it. It's one of those type of things where like it's a comp, and he looks great in the comp. You know, he's dribbling past players, and the technical abilities there and stuff like that. I just need to see more from him though, because then again, you have to see, you know, the opposition that they're playing, the league that they're playing in. But he shows good signs for sure. The Desiree that Due guy, 100%. But I just have to see more, because when it comes to like comps and stuff like this, you see one or two skill moves, and you get really excited. But that's not really, you know, that's not everything. There's a lot more to it when it comes to a player, and I just really have to do my research when it comes to that. But my ideal, like my overall thought is that a lot of these players that we are linked with, I'm happy. Like these are some of the players that I would have signed too, and some of them are no brainers as well when it comes to the deals. Like Kaneki mentioned it before. I think he said Fofana and Thuram. Yusuf Fofana is another one too that I also have been looking at as well. He said they both would cost around 73 million. You add Todibo in there, that's probably 90 million for the three of them, right? And we spent that on one player, so. Just that's what I'm saying. And Jess said I hate the comp that's going around Twitter about Dua because exactly this is the thing, and this is why I don't kind of like go off of just comps like that, because people see, you know, one comp and a couple skills and flair here and there, and then people just like, oh yeah, he's very good, he would fit in the United team, this and that. I think you have to watch him. Periods. You also have to watch a player face some sort of adversity to see how he would cope with when it comes to some sort of adversity. So I'm not saying players should go through bad patches, but that's really where you try to recognize whether a player is good enough when they come out of those bad patches and when they go through those bad patches. So I don't think there's enough about this Desiree guy that's been going around, to be honest. I need to see more from him. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to his flair and his technical abilities, there. That's what I'll say. It's definitely there.
It's there.
Yeah.
What do you think of Yusuf Fofana? You're a fan?
Yeah, Yusuf Fofana, I'm a fan. Definitely. Another one of those like midfielders who's commanding, aggressive.
That's what he said.
One of those profiles where I like bullies. That's really just what it is when it comes to United. That's one reason why I'm a big fan of Lissandro, because we call him the butcher for a reason. He's a bully, and I like instilling that type of fear into into players, letting you know you're there for challenges and stuff like that, right? So I'm a big fan of that. If we do get those type of profiles and those type of players who have obviously won the IQ. Two, are not overly aggressive, but that's something that can be coached as well, right? I'm all for it. Those type of profiles, I'm all for it. We need those type of players. I'm tired of getting like you said, too flawless. I'm tired of our players getting bullied time and time again in the midfield. And then, and it could be any type of opposition. I've seen our players get bullied by, Newport County in certain games, like in that one game, like shit like that. It's like, I'm tired of seeing that. And I need players in our team who are, from minute one, all about it, aggressive, there to win the ball, try to go for every single challenge. Don't hide and duck from challenges, shit like that. I'm tired of seeing this like mentality at our club, and I'm hoping this type of stuff changes for sure. That's just me though, personally, how I would have liked to see Manchester United in our midfield. But yeah, big fan of all these players, to be honest.
Anyone in the chat know about Due? Let us know, people.
The only thing I hate is that we're looking at all this French talent. Yeah. And we're letting one of the greatest French talents walk out the front door.
That's crazy.
That's what like I can't compute. If this was your plan all this time, what sense does it make? A guy like Todibo probably looks up to a guy like Varane.
That's true.
And I understand about the play time, but if Todibo is around 20, I think that means like a lot might be riding on how his potential. So I'm guessing he's still a young player.
Todibo is
25 years old.
So he's pretty much, but I understand. I mean, the timelines don't really work, but it's just like, damn. Like, you want to get the wage bill down, you want to bring in all this French talent, but
we should have been done doing this though, Eddie. Because one thing that France seems to produce is the quality. Like, why we don't have scouts in France? Why we don't have scouts literally on the doorstep of Clairefontaine? Because they are producing footballers at a ridiculous rate. It's like every time a new player bursts onto the scene, or is a new have you seen such and such? What's his nationality? French. That seems to be the way. It's like, why are we not there? Like, literally,
it's like scouts. if you're a United scout, you better be at that goddamn Olympics.
Yes.
Because that team they're pulling up with probably has some talent that people are sleeping on. And I think Olise's part of that team as well.
Yeah, they're saying Elise, is going to the Olympics.
Yeah, he is.
So it'll be good to see him in that element just to see what he is. Because the good thing with international football is a lot of it relies upon individual brilliance, honestly. It's the same way with like the knockout stages. That's why Madrid does what it does, is because like, yo, I'm pulling up for this full 90 and the homie Vinicius is with me. Do something about it. Like,
I hear you.
It's real simple. International football is real simple in that way. That's why France, and only when they don't screw themselves out of it, are usually winning something or in the final is something. So
that's fair.
Yeah, we better have some scouts at that competition.
Yeah,
for real. Better had for real. Let's see what else you lot are saying. Big up.
And another thing is like, I don't know if they're basically like, it's speculation whether they're actually looking into the French market and players because they're scouting France. That's one thing, right? Or are they just looking into the French market because Sir Jim Ratcliffe has had experience and he's done business in the French market before, so he thinks that it'll be easy business for him to try to get players from there. That's something that again we'd have to find out. But either whichever one it is, I'm cool with it, because if that is the case, that's good business. The value that we've seen on some of these players who are pretty decent as well is not bad. We're not overpaying for players like we have done in the past. Also, we're not going for just names, which also I'm kind of happy about that. We're not just going for players who oh yeah, he's a name. Of course he would fit at our club. Like of course he would do this and do that. I actually like that we're actually scouting, and that's something that I really really like. So that's good. Let's see. But again, manager, big thing. Will all these players work with the manager that we end up appointing, whether it's Ten Hag, whether it's a new coach? That is something Ineos have to look at too, and we'll see.
And PS makes a great point here, because he says the French is the spot. We now have owners who own a French club. They're scouting knows the talent sitting around. Exactly. I would hope so. He says we got to use that to our advantage and rebuild. Look at Madrid, they're doing it. Hopefully, like I never even looked at it until we started discussing that all these players are legit French and in the French league. So that's what we do indeed need to be looking at. However, it seems, according to rumors, we've mentioned Todibo, we've mentioned Catherine Thuram, we mentioned Desiree Doué, just to name a few. So Todibo as well. So we'll see what's
and even in the past, like we were I think we were heavily linked to Camavinga. He ended up going to Madrid because it's Madrid, but I think we were definitely there in terms of talks. And all he has is like, he was scouting the French league before too, so we've done it. Like we've delved into the market before too. I just don't know kind of why we stopped, and we don't look into other markets like this as well. But I like this whole scouting thing, definitely. Like I agree with PS's comment entirely. We definitely should be trying to capitalize on this for sure. A lot of talent out of that league at this moment.
Oh, I do. And big up to Abdi as well. Abdi Aziz. I hope I didn't butcher your name, my guy. My laptop has been crazy. Because he says, flawless, I don't trust Ineos. So it might as well be he says South Bomb, even if it's very implausible. But I hope for De Zerbi. I'm with you in regards to, I don't trust Ineos either. Trust is gained. I don't trust him. That's why I'm probably not as concerned and worried with Ten Hag still being here. If it was Sheikh Jassim, I'd be much more worried and concerned. But because it's Ineos, I had my doubts about you already. There was already strong doubts, very, very strong doubts. And they've actually done good business in regards to the people they brought in. So that has surprised me. But do I trust them? No, we'll see. The summer, like I say, by the time the summer ends, we'll know. Well, I can only speak for me. I'll know everything I need to know about Ineos. I would have seen enough in the summer to know, are you serious or not? And that doesn't necessarily mean going and getting all the people I want and the manager I want and all the players I want. What is the idea? Can I understand where you're coming from, even if I disagree? Like, if they get De Zerbi, I understand it, even though De Zerbi wasn't top of my list. I could see why you would get De Zerbi for what's going on. And then if you pick a certain style, get De Zerbi, and then you get certain players. And I do like the players we've been linked with. And that is the first time in a long time. And also as well, when's the last time we got linked to just a position? Where it's like, all right, Manchester United are looking for a left back. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. And to WKD, who says, which is worse, Ten Hag staying or hiring Southgate? Both awful. And both were finished either way.
Yeah,
Either way. Finished. Jez goes on to say, French market is popping, but the Italy market is extremely underrated. Some proper players clubs miss out on. Kaneki goes on to say, Kaneki says, sorry, French players are one at United. He says Fofana, Thuram, Todibo. Is that Trophée? Sidelo, Kakarot. Crazy. I thought it was Goku and Kalulu. First Kaneki, man will keep a lookout. He said I almost said Kakarot. I swear on my life, I almost said Kakarot. Dragon Ball Z knowledge kicked in. It is. All right, let's see what else you lot are saying.
All I know is it sounds West African, so I'm with it.
You with it. You just thinking, yo, athlete.
Yeah, man.
Athlete.
They got some ballers because they grow up in France, you feel me? So they get it's the athletics, bro. Them the ones you gotta look out for.
Yeah.
Like I say it all the time, bro. Vinny is so special because the brothers running around the pitch looking like T'Challa. And he just got that grace. Like, he just got that sauce, bro. Like, the shit he be pulling mid-game is so crazy. And he going at like 100 miles per hour while he doing it. It feels like, bro, pause, crazy. But it's one of them things where, like, yeah, he's solid like that, bro. He really is.
I hear you. I know to just now, I'm not doing the England game. I did the last one. I'm not doing England-Iceland. She almost put me to sleep. But you lot, I'll do some content. Actually, people, WNBA, we'll be doing a WNBA game on the playback. And I'll probably run some gaming content.
What, you got money on the game or something?
Eddie, you missed it. We did one a couple days ago. We did the Sparks versus someone. It was actually a decent game. We were surprised.
I'm so weak. He said Sparks versus someone. He didn't even care about the other team.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't even know his point.
Yo, I'm here. I'll let it be known, Eddie. I'll let you know my biases. I'm here for the Sparks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a fan of Lexi Brown, fan of Cameron Brinks. There for the
shout out Lexi.
Yeah, because she's on Girls Arena. Fever, because that's who plays for Fever. Caitlin Clark plays for Fever, right? So that's all
crazy.
And then the New York team, the Aces.
Wilson. We got Asia Wilson on the Aces. We got number 22, Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink. That's what we there for, man. Shout out all the 22s out there, man. Shout out all the 22s.
I'm only out here for Asia. That's
I hear you.
So yeah, that's what's going on. And the team
out here for Asia.
And the Las Vegas, is it the Las Vegas team that what's her face is on? What's her name, man? I was gonna
it's like when I just think about, like, National Geographic, you see them lions hopping on top of giraffes and stuff like that. I'm gonna leave it right there. You feel me? I'm gonna leave it right there.
Asia,
right there.
And also Angel Reese as well. Who's her team again?
Yeah, Angel Reese.
It's
Chicago
the Vegas team,
Sky.
right?
Chicago
Sky. That's it. So yeah, we got the Sky, the Aces, and the Sparks. They're the three teams. So yeah, man, Eddie, we did the first game. It actually went well. And the game was actually surprisily better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
We was all shocked.
No, they be hooping.
Yeah,
we're talking about
for real. Talent. Like, I just want to disclaimer, right? We're talking about talent. We're like, when I said Cameron Brink 22, I said talent, centers.
She was there boxing out. She had a bad offensive game, but defensively she was on it. Rudy Gobert could learn a thing or two.
This is the only thing, bro. This is the only thing that be fucking me up, man. This is it. Like. It's like they be going up for layups, and they be having to really try to get that ball over the. I'll be like, oh,
yeah, they for real.
But shout out again. I'm only here for Asia. I'll say nothing bad about you.
There we go.
Only thing bad I'll say about you is that you bad. That's about it.
So Jordan S, no, we wasn't bluffing, because I was like, I spoke about it in an NBA watch along, and then the man that was was hosting with me was like, yeah, let's do it. The chat was with it, so then we ran it. And then when we ran it, it was actually surprisingly, it was more successful than I thought it would be. So yeah, it's now, for those that don't know, WNBA games are now, on Sarcasm City TV on the playback, and they run just like the NBA games. So if you can't watch NBA League Pass, we got you, and you can watch along with us. So we'll be there tonight. What's the games tonight, actually? I know Sparks is playing. Let's see who else. And there's someone else playing 3 a.m. UK time. Wait, 1 second. Yeah. So we got Aces versus Storm and Sparks versus Wings. So we'll be there. Yeah, it's actually worth watching, Kaneki. That is the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, people, make sure. So I'm gonna legit. I need to make the thumbnail. And that being said, as well, speaking of first as well, Sheik and the rest of the gang will be holding it down on Sunday, 3:30 p.m. India versus Pakistan T20 group stage watch along.
Oh,
So
man.
she could be there, and the rest of the gang. I won't be there, but the rest of the gang will be there on the playback.
Will be there. Ray will be there. So pull
Mr.
up.
16 out of 10 will
This
be there.
is when we need. This is what we need. Alam versus
I messaged Alam on Twitter though. He didn't reply.
I hit him up.
Murtaza.
Yeah, Taza will be there. I think he's already
Taza will be there. Taza told me though. He said I'm gonna be going like in and out. Pause. No, did he? He said I'm gonna keep going in and out of the stream because you know how those games are crazy. So yeah.
So Taza will be there. 16 out of 10 will be there. CP will be there. We'll try to get Alam there as well.
Yeah.
So it's
crazy.
It's gonna be
crazy.
I'll actually post it. I'm gonna post it out after the show. I'll actually make a thumbnail for it, people. It's on the community page. So you lot check out the community page. Because it is on there. I did post it on the community page.
Connect, you're welcome to join, man. And all you guys, you're all welcome to join for sure. 100%.
Of course. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you pull up to the playback, people. We always expanding here at Sarcasm City TV. All right, final few questions before we close out. Run up the likes, though.
It ain't no city no more. It's the universe.
Yeah, man. We out here. SCU. You already know. So yeah, Ryan will be there. So if you don't want to go trolling, playback.tv/Sarcasm City TV. You already know what time it is. For real, it deserves to be trolled. The joke, man. It really, really does. Because never, ever forget, people. Never, ever forget that you said this dumb shit.
By the way, can I just say, the two girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
All right, big up the panel. As for.
Oh my God, his face, man. That shit it's always gonna be funny, man. His face.
He always dumb face at the end.
His face at the end.
Just see the crash and burn, yo. It's beautiful thing, man. Couldn't happen to it. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Beautiful settings. Hey, Kaneki, big up each and every time. God, hey, big up to Matthew. It's been a minute. He says the only time I want to keep Ten Hag. I hope you're good, Matthew, because it has been a strong minute. The only time I want to keep Ten Hag is if it is Southgate that they want to replace him with. No way do I want Southgate. You only have to look at England. Hey, trust me. I hear you. Trust me, Matthew. I fully hear you. For real. And Staffy, that's not YG. That's just YG's not here. Yeah, it's a different YG. That's not the same YG. Where was he at? But yeah, I hear you, Matthew. I don't want Southgate. Keep him as far away from the club as possible. And I don't see them going to get Southgate. I really don't think they do all of this. All the firing, all the hiring, be so particular with what's going on. And then they go, boom. Yeah, let's go and get something. No. I don't see that happening. I really, really don't. Yeah, that is the original YG. That is facts. But I think that's it. I think we've actually spoke about everything. I don't think there's much more. This is the new time for the show on Fridays as well, because it suits everybody better. 6 p.m. Even though I know we went live at 6:15, but yeah, 6 p.m. UK time, people. That's the time for the Friday show. Obviously, the Tuesday show will stay at 4:30 p.m. But once the Euros start, then I'm going to update the live stream schedule anyway. It will be slightly changed. So this show won't happen during the Euros unless something breaks. So say Ten Hag gets sacked during the Euros. There will be a ManDem United at some point to discuss that because we really have to.
And a celebration party, people. Celebration
Sheik
party.
TV will be. Let me add Sheik's link to the title as well. But Sheik, let them know where they can find you, what you got coming up. All that
Yep. Appreciate you, Flawless, for having me on the show every single time. Big up to Eddie as well, and big up the chat, man. Flawless is on, road to 12K, almost there. So definitely subscribe, like the video if you guys haven't already. In terms for me, I am actually going live in about 30 minutes. We have Surfer on the panel, Victor on the panel, Prime on the panel, CP on the panel. We're doing a keep, sell, loan for Chelsea. So I've done this for United already. We're doing it for pretty much all the big 6 teams, and pretty much all the content creators I can find, I'll do it for their team. So you'll see a Newcastle one with Steve probably. You'll see an Arsenal one on Sunday. Connor will be there. Grim will be there. My guy Eli will be there. So definitely check that out as well. Keep sell loan for Arsenal on Sunday, and then we're back on Monday for Mud Brothers. And then also, like you mentioned, the India versus Pakistan watch along, that will be at 3:30 p.m. UK. So pull up for that. If you guys have never watched cricket before, have watched cricket before, pull up. It'll be vibes for sure. So
trust me, India and Pakistan in cricket in terms that's real serious beef. They really don't like each other, people. That is Manchester United, Liverpool. That is Celtic, Rangers. Like they really, 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 really do not like each other. So make sure you pull up. Like I'm probably going to be in the chat at various points and tune into the game as well. And to let me know who's live in the chat, please, people. Let me know who's live in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to Sheik's channel. The link is in the title, so click the link. Go subscribe to Sheik TV. Roll to what for you now, family?
24, 25 subscribers away from 300. So almost.
No, let's get man to 300 subscribers, man. 300 subs, then 500, then 1K. But let's get you to 300, then 500, so then you can get monetized. So we're going to get you there expeditiously. Again, links in the title, also underneath in the description of every live stream on the channel and on the featured channel page as well. Yeah, Big Six Bands is live. We're going to redirect to Monton, the gang. Put Sarcasm City. No, you put 16/10 raid. You already know. Eddie family, anything you want to add before we close out?
No, love for the love. I'm so glad I'm over here because sometimes the final games run too late, so I don't have to watch that foolishness that I heard about this morning. But if I can make it to one, I will, people.
Yeah, man.
It's Buck Foston. You guys understand what that means? Just rearrange some letters, but I'll keep it clean for when we end out.
There we go. So yeah, love to everyone that's locked in. That's fire. Flawless Wednesday, next Liverpool show. When some news breaks, that's why there's been no ManDem United analysis at Anfield, because nothing's going on with Liverpool.
That's quiet over there at Anfield.
Yes, it's super quiet, but Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show will be tonight, 11 p.m. UK time, people. So I'll be there myself, Surfer, Jez, special guest Jacob will be there with his crazy self. So make sure you're there. Obviously, Chelsea linked to Julian Alvarez from Manchester City. Conor Gallagher linked with a move from Chelsea to Tottenham Hotspur. I'm sure Jez will be there talking about James Maddison getting left out of the England squad as well, people. So, yeah, make sure you're locked into that. And then 3 a.m. UK time, I already mentioned it. We'll be live on the playback for a WNBA game. We will be live over there for Aces Storms. We'll probably do Sparks Wings, but it may be Aces Storms as well. We'll mix the two anyway because we can switch games and things of that nature. And in between, before the NBA game and after the United Chelsea Spurs show, I'll probably do some form of gaming content. You know what? I got the Fight Night book, so I'll probably run Fight Night Champion on the playback and on the YouTube at the same time as well. So yeah, man. Yeah, you crazy Jess. But love to everyone that's locked in. Don't forget, we are available on all audio platforms as well. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts. But you already know. 16/10 raid when we redirect to Big Six Bands. And this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.